You're listening to Turi Writers' She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, what if you're taking care of a 28-year-old, 7 months pregnant, post-surgical kid who's incapable of getting out of the Barcalounger so that you have to sleep on the couch? It can really suck the fun out of a baby shower. And you know those TikToks and YouTube videos that teach you all about some particular beauty treatment? Don't watch them. Have you ever had your place be so messy that when crap falls on the floor, you're like, fine?
It's never one thing at a time.
True. 3 parts of your car will break down at the same time, and it's usually right when you got the roof replaced and the heat fixed. Yes.
Yes. Also, your child, who you spent a ton of money to buy her own house, is now sleeping on the couch in the recliner, where you have to sleep right next to her in case if she needs anything during the night.
Oh, Lord.
Because she just had knee surgery. Unexpected emergency knee surgery at the beginning of her last trimester of pregnancy. So
how's she feeling?
Yeah.
How is that going?
Actually, she took a car ride with me today.
Whoa.
So,
was she in agony when you went over all the bumps on Marcy Persky Lane there, or no?
No, I went carefully. And she's on crutches with a lot of extra weight.
A baby, and that'll throw you off balance too. As you get close to delivering, all your joints and muscles go all squoozy so that the baby can come. Oh, it's going to be grand. Oh, you're going to have so much fun.
My life is sleeping on the couch, which is so uncomfortable. I can't even tell you how much I hate this couch. But yeah, so now I have a stiff neck. Wah.
Okay. All right. Well, at least you're not in a cast yet. You got 10 days.
No.
10 days.
I have time to party. Which means helping Eve go to the bathroom, getting Eve water, making Eve lunch, making hot chocolate.
It's exciting. It's your life. Your life.
Pick up my mom. Will you pick up my phone?
Well, speaking of taking care of people, we're going up to Toronto to watch the small cutie walk in his graduation, which technically he graduated in August at the end of the summer term, but they don't have a summer graduation. So this is the second child we've sent through university. And the first one graduated in the middle of COVID. So 4 ceremonies, none in person. And the small cutie finished high school with a graduation that was literally a drive-by graduation, which I loved. It was great. Principals coming up to everybody's car, congratulating them. And the teachers are handing out gifts. And everybody has their car decorated with whatever their kid's doing next. I thought it was so much better. But the small cutie takes after his mother. He's a big whiner and complainer. Big whiner and complainer. So instead of saying this is cool,
I can't relate to that at all.
No whining and complaining on your end. So instead of being excited to have had the opportunity to graduate in a completely novel way, he said, well, I played the flute for all the other graduations and I was really looking forward. I'm like, oh, shush already. Really? Whining and complaining. Just whine and complain. So we're all going up there. We're praying the car makes it to Toronto with the dog so he can have his dog with him. Not at the graduation, but...
I was going to say, is the dog going to have a little cap?
No, there are a lot of people who make their dogs part of the wedding, etc. But in this case, I do not think Victoria College at the University of Toronto, they're kind of British about the whole thing. And I don't think the dog would be welcome, even in an appropriate cap and gown. And the small cutie keeps scaring me with a lack of planning. Like he'll say things like, I think I pick up my cap and gown on the day of the ceremony. And we say, well, it seems like you ought to check on that. Well, I'm pretty sure. Why not check on that so that everybody else doesn't have a cap and gown and you're going down there with your T-shirt and your blue jeans on? How about you just check on that? It's a little bit hard on the blood pressure is what it is.
It's called flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, well, the seat of his pants is what everyone will see if he doesn't pick up the
Yeah,
cap and the
he doesn't
gown.
have a robe.
And the seat of our pants as we bend our heads between our knees in embarrassment. I have my own anxieties. You know, the
Just take a
car.
bathrobe and make him wear it. He doesn't get a graduation
Yeah,
robe.
here's your red bathrobe.
Go
Same
find one with
colors.
like Charlie Brown and Snoopy all over
That's
it.
what you would do. You would find it online. You would find a Grateful Dead one and
Yes.
you'd make him wear that.
Yeah, I would find like the most embarrassing, awful skull, crossbones, Grateful Dead, whatever.
So we're filling up the minivan with stuff that I decided he needs. You know, like
Yeah.
hooks that go over doors so he can get his crap off the floor, that kind of thing. He's only been living there 3 years. The kid's been living in the same place for 3 years. He does not yet own a laundry basket. He just piles up the dirty clothes. And this is the thing. He has 2 roommates and they none of them find this objectionable. His room is the smallest one. The pile is outside his door in their hallway. Nobody seems to think this is odd. Being a parent of a 20-something-year-old young man is an exercise in keeping one's mouth shut. That's what it is.
Let's see, what you need is a 28-year-old pregnant female who has an answer for everything, whether you ask the question or not.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I would just leave her struggling like a salmon going upstream there and then the recliner and see how she likes that. I would be pretty hardcore about it. Really? Well, if you're so smart, figure out how to get your peanut butter sandwich. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
One arm and one leg.
Yeah, bye. Yeah.
The worst thing has been like clearing all the animals away so that she can actually move or try to move. Because I have 2 dogs that are locked outside right now, 2 dogs that are in the living room with her that just kind of lays around, and 2 cats that I can't catch, and they're the ones that like want to jump on her. But
Well, I would threaten her with that too.
the
I would
biggest
threaten her with that
here.
too. You got to answer for that, Miss Smarty Pants? Gee, I can't find those cats. See ya. I'm just so mean. I'm like the meanest person you've ever met. I don't lip off to me. That's my
true.
Do not lip off to me, boy. That would be really is my answer. Really. We'll see about that. Just see about
Well,
that.
going back to your dog at graduation,
What about her?
Eve has worked for years in a brewery that is you can bring your dogs with you. I don't know what you call it.
Dog friendly,
Oh,
they call it.
okay.
Yes.
So people bring their dogs. And her shower is Saturday, and we'll be carrying her in like Cleopatra. But I said, so which dog do you want to take? Because she's always telling me about these great dogs that come in, and sit at her tables and yada yada. So I said, which dog do you want to take? And she said, well, Minion has dementia and half his face doesn't work. And he suddenly, out of nowhere, just wants to like bite somebody. So we have to cross him off the list. Belly hates any dog that's bigger than her and will attack. And she's got little teeny legs, so it's pretty much any dog outside of a Chihuahua.
I guess the answer is no dogs.
No dogs, yes. We went
Okay.
through every single, and then Butters, of course.
Oh,
who
forget
just-
Butters. He's just nuts.
You
Just
all
don't even. That's not
furniture.
even a dog.
You
That's just a
everyone's
walking
dog.
lawsuit. That's what that is.
Yeah, so no dogs are coming.
Well,
But
I would think you would be glad about that, really, because you're going to have to carry
Yeah.
your 20-something-year-old around, and that should be enough.
we've been rolling her around in this chair that I'm sitting in because it's got wheels, but it's really hard to control because it's like the grocery store cart that you grab that doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, the wheel that's going kind of up, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and wants to go where it wants to go.
Right.
So yeah, I might drive into Flagstaff and get her something that really has wheels on it.
That seems like a good idea. So before you make a trip like this, or before we make our trip, I'm noticing from what you're saying, I must not be the only one. When you make a trip that isn't normal for you, Do you remember how easy it used to be? It'd be like, okay, I need clean underwear and my makeup and an outfit or two, and
Yeah.
now, and I go. Now, getting out of the house requires something like 3 weeks of preparation. And halfway through it, I thought, this is why I could never be a CEO. Like the CEOs, they just like, oh, yes, I've
Yeah.
got my little go bag. The CEOs of the world, I suppose, do not worry about whether they have their eyeliner packed together with their toothpaste by mistake and whether anything that they own makes their ass look fat. They don't have to worry about
They
any
have
of that.
money to go out and buy.
Yeah, but to get there, they had to do years of just like goodbye. And I never could do that. I even when I was
I don't
young
know.
now that I
Some
think
of us
about it.
don't travel with eyeliner. I see your face. But yeah, I really,
I don't know
well, yeah,
if
like
it's
when I came to see you, we had no idea what the weather was going to be like. So I half the suitcase was summer clothes and half the suitcase was winter
well,
clothes.
that's what you have to do when you come to Chicago. And it's going to be the same when we go to Toronto. Last week was 80, and today is 34 and snowing. So there you go. But I don't know if it's me getting old or if it's just that the rules of travel have changed so much. I don't know, but all I know is I've been planning this trip since I got back from my last trip, and that was almost 2 weeks ago, and I don't feel like I've made any progress. And if I took my blood pressure right now, I'd probably end up having to drive myself to an emergency room. It's just no good. Here's another thing that you may have noticed when you do your personal grooming. Do you realize like the personal grooming that you do, if you had to describe it to anybody else, they would throw up? Have you thought about this?
No.
I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, there's hair now where I didn't used to have hair, so I have to like think about what you really do
It's called puberty.
when you use a hair remover, for example. And anybody who has a weak stomach, just skip this part of the podcast. If you either you go to one of those salons and they put hot wax all over the part where you want removed and then they rip it off so your hair comes out by the roots, or you use this medieval thing that my girlfriend sent me that's basically, as far as I can tell, a really tight spring between two handles that would, if you got your hair caught in something, like you would go ow. This is deliberately ripping your hair out by the roots by catching it in this spring thing that my friend sent me, and I'm like, no.
What
Or
about good old fashioned Nair?
I'm working my way up to that. You can
Yeah.
get a tweezer. Again, you have to spend, and here's where your old age really whams you because your vision isn't what it used to be. So you have to really hope that you have a big enough magnifying mirror. Or you get good old Nair, and then you essentially have to burn yourself. That is what is involved in using good old Nair. It is a chemical burn that you administer to yourself, ideally not long enough that your skin comes off along with the hair. And I'm just thinking about how many other beautification things people do where if you really think about what you're doing, you probably wouldn't do them. If you go to the nail salon, one of the things they do is they sand the whole top layer off your fingernail. Like, why would you do that? Norm, if I just said, hey, let's sand the top layer off your fingernail, you'd go, what? What? Yeah, let's do all 10 fingers and all 10 toes. Let's just get a really abrasive thing and just take the top layer that is meant to prevent things from getting into your body. And then the nature's little gasket, the little cuticle, let's take a really sharp scissor and rip that off. And if you thought about it, you would never do it.
Ow,
But we
ow.
all do this crap all the time. It's this or die looking old. So I'm really trying to figure out what I want. I know I don't want to be one of those ladies on the bus with the mustache. That's all I know.
No, me either. But the other stuff, like your lady private business or whatever you want to call it, that you seem to burn and pluck and everything else. And my question is why?
Oh, well, I might not be my private, might be public space, might be my face for all you know.
I know you and it's not.
Oh,
No,
yeah?
it's Nair on your
Oh, yeah?
face.
Take a look over here at the side of
If you put
my
Nair on
mouth.
your face, it
Well,
says right on the bottom.
no, there's special Nair for your face.
Ooh.
Aha! See? Got you.
I don't know. I live in a mountain. I just don't care.
Well, you would if you looked like one of those ladies on the bus.
Well, yeah, that I would care about.
Yeah, so yeah, you get the lady face nair is what you get. Or you go and you have them pour boiling hot wax on your face.
Ugh,
Or you get
no.
that metal spring thing that's a medieval torture device. Or you get a tweezer and hope you can see what the heck you're. See? You see? If you have to describe the things that you actually do, I think people would just wear bags over their heads all the time.
I'd be the one with the plastic bag. Gasping for air.
Yeah, you're a smart girl. You've been listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast, and you probably know about my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. Now there's an audiobook, so you can have me with you on long drives or short commutes, and you can download it from Amazon. It also makes a lovely gift.